All right. Hey, everybody. This is Quick Draw McGraw from Quick Draw Comics. So I'm really excited about this episode. We're actually going to be talking about Catwoman and Batman. And actually, is this a love story? I don't know. We'll see. So, what we're going to go through to begin with is a little bit about their history and what brought them together. So, just so everybody knows, if you didn't know this, Catwoman is actually a character that started out in Batman issue number one. And she showed up as the cat in that episode or book that she was in. So that's where, and she's been basically going on for about, what is it, 80 years. And so this book right here, the reason why I'm having that out here is it's a synopsis of their entire like cycle through all of comic books. So it's a pretty good book if you want to read it. So it's just got all the different comics and where they've been together in there and all that kind of stuff. But there's some key points in history of the two of them in comics that are very important, and then also in modern pop culture that's happened. So again, it's really Batman number one, where the Catwoman, is basically she's caught as a jewel thief by Batman, and they want to bring her to justice, right? The reason why Catwoman, whose name is Selina Kyle, fell into crime is because she grew up in a very hard environment. Her mother she suffered from depression. She actually ended up committing suicide, and her dad was an alcoholic. So she ended up leaving the house, and the only way that she could survive was to steal. So she learned to actually steal at a very early age. So that's kind of what her psychology was. And plus, she was afraid of letting people in because she had been hurt so much. So she's got a very independent kind of psychology that goes with her character. Now, we all know Bruce Wayne, and we know his whole story of seeing his parents murdered, and then he wants to fight for justice and make Gotham a better place. Okay. So this painting was my attempt to really uh, capture the dynamic behind the two of them. So they evolve through various different ways in which, over those, 80 years in comics or whatever, in different, settings and scenarios and stuff like that, mostly because she's committing crimes and he's trying to stop her from doing that. But she's very good and she's very evasive and all this kind of stuff. So, let's see here. They get very, very close, and they do at certain different times. They have this weird relationship where they're attracted to each other, and he knows that she's like kind of a criminal and everything else. So there's this attraction, but they're also, they know that they're really not kind of meant for each other.
Don't worry, though. I'll see you on the other side.
When did you do it?
Do what?
You took my watch, without me noticing. So when did you do it? I'm curious.
Take it from me, Bruce. Around here, curiosity can get you killed. Tell them everything you remember and then get to bed. You look awful.
I told you I don't want a partner.
You sure wanted one these past 3 months.
3 months? I never thanked you for finding me and getting me home that night. Are you sure?
When the time comes, I'm not sure I'll have it in me to ask. Is there even such a thing as a normal family in this city?
Maybe not. For people like us.
So the next part of this whole thing is their wedding. So Batman 50, the actual comic book done by um, the writers Tom King, it was supposed to be their wedding itself. Now, what's unfortunate about it is Selina Kyle, she actually leaves Batman at the altar. So there's a page in which she basically just jumps away off the top of the building, and then he's just torn up, and then he actually jumps away too. So there's that. Um, and then, so Bruce, during all of this, he, what's interesting is that Selena knows him as a person, and she ends up, obviously she has a child with Bruce. They actually ended up having a child together, and her name is Helena Wayne, and she's actually the Huntress in comic books. So they actually ended up having a child. The other child that Bruce had was from Talia al Ghul. It's Talia al Ghul, and that was Robin. So Robin was their child. So those are his two, like his kids that he had with different women. I mentioned this in the last couple episodes. Was Absolute Batman, the new series that's out there? I think I have Absolute Batman 1 right here. Amazing story that you should check out if you are interested in Batman. If you want to just restart comics and you want to get back into it, check out Absolute Batman. But Selina Kyle, Catwoman, is reintroduced in Batman 13, Absolute Batman 13. And so she comes back, and she is actually part of his past in that world, and she comes back to actually help him because he was going down a very dark path and he needed help, and she was there for him. And so there's a pretty intimate setting, and I'll show the actual cover, and I'll show a couple of those pages, but they truly love each other, okay? But it's just, they've just got this weird dysfunctional relationship. And Bruce, he's he's got, there's so many women that he's been with for all these years. And I mentioned two of them that he has two different kids with, but there's just a litany of women that he's been with. And then there's a setting where he's with his therapist, and she's like, well, are you ever going to like have a committed relationship? And he's like, oh, I don't know, I do this and that. So it's just an interesting thing. So it was almost impossible to count up all the women and the relationships and everything else. But I put together a little matrix for you guys to actually check that out if you're interested in that whole thing. Some of the characters are going to be like, what? Like even Wonder Woman, they actually had a relationship of some sort, because they were always sort of, there was a chemistry between the two of them. In fact, even Harley Quinn threw herself at Batman. He didn't reciprocate, but that was like a whole thing. So, anyways, I don't. It's a. I always wanted to do this painting, because it was something that really interests me, because in this painting you see him, she's totally throwing herself at him, right? She's closed her eyes, she's arched her back, she's completely given herself to him. And it's a beautiful moonlit scene, and I tried to capture the moon, and in the moon you can see like the little craters and stuff. It's a full moon night and you can see far away. So I wanted to give that depth. But then he's actually, I talked about eyes. He's actually looking at her I made sure to paint pupils because when I got this, they were like, "Don't paint the pupils," but I'm like, "No, I am," because I it's like almost like he's always keeping an eye on her because he knows that she's a jewel thief, a thief, and he's always got to make sure that she's doing the right thing. So he never totally truly trusts her. And I think that's the key with relationships. If you've ever been in a bad relationship and you don't trust the person, then that just doesn't work. And I think maybe that's the deal with them, is that she wants to be independent. She doesn't want to have someone in her life every day, all day, whatever. But he kind of wants that, but he also kind of wants his independence. But he wants to fight crime all day long. So she's kind of selfish in that she wants money and all this kind of stuff, and then she wants to have her own space. But then he kind of doesn't. He wants to have her, but then he wants his own space too. So, and you'll see that in those clips that I showed. So it's weird, but he doesn't truly trust her. And so he's always kind of looking at her like, but what I did with this painting was I, and this wasn't in the design that was sent to me as far as like, how to paint this painting. But what I did was I painted sort of a glow. You know how you feel like when you are with someone and you first start that relationship and you have that like kind of glowing feeling and you're happy and it just kind of the endorphins and all that kind of stuff is happening or in your brain. That's what it is with them. They have that connection. There's this deep connection between the two of them, but they are just different. They're the same in a way, but they're also their morals and their values and stuff like that are off. So there's chemistry, but there's also a difference. And so it is one of the most complicated, weird relationships that I have seen in comic books. I think Harley Quinn, we had that episode in the Joker. When she became Harley Quinn, they kind of got along, the Joker and Harley Quinn. And then when Harley Quinn got with Ivy, okay, whatever. That was fine. Wolverine with the lady that he was seeing in Japan. We don't really know a lot about that uh, Mariko. We don't know a lot about her character. Um, so, and then, Wonder Woman, Steve Trevor, that was also kind of weird too, because she's immortal and he's mortal, but you kind of with them, you understand that because they're both like fighting for man and like, they want to help humanity. Whereas the two of them, Batman's helping and fighting for humanity, and she's very independent, selfish, and they're trying to like get together. So it's like an impossible relationship. So that's what I try to capture here. It's like it's this relationship that's built on I would maybe lust and attraction and stuff like that, but then it's also guarded and maybe it's symbolic again of not having a relationship that's based on trust. Like, subscribe, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if there's another character that you want to see done. Superman, Spider-Man, and then I think I'm gonna do Deadpool, and then I've created a character kind of based on Silver Surfer, but a female version of that to spin off, from there, inspired by. Um, but yeah, that's it. Okay, so this went a little long, but this is something really I'm kind of passionate about. So let me know what you think, and I will catch you next time.